Hello and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea and today I have a surprise for you. I have a friend who is a scientist and just an incredibly intelligent woman all around. And she's a well of knowledge about so many things. And I've been trying to get her on this channel for a while now. And something always came up, mostly on my part. It's my fault. I've been traveling, but I've been looking forward to introducing you to Alena, who is just incredible, as I said. And the point of all of this, the main thing I want us to focus on today is that we live in an age where we are seeing very much the dichotomy between the old way of doing medicine and healing, et cetera, where we really trusted external forces to heal us, to today's reality, which is where we know that our body heals itself. Now, of course, we can support ourselves. And again, this is not a medical video, okay? There's not medical advice. However, we know that the body heals itself at the end of the day. Nobody else from the outside can heal you. At the same time, there are supportive methodologies we can use. One of the most fascinating for me has been sound therapy. Of course, it goes hand in hand with frequency and therefore energy healing. These are all things that have come to the fore in the last, I would say, and Alena, you can tell us more about this, but in the last, I would say, or at least as long as I've been aware of it, it's been probably 10, 15 years. And so it's not even the science of the future, really. It's the science of the present. They're already here, so why not take advantage of them? Alena has been very focused on this, and I think she is wonderful. And one of the reasons I wanted her to come on my channel is because if you guys have seen my video about message from God, I met, quote unquote, met with Source during one of my plant medicine experiences. And I was very clearly shown that Source is energy, which we could have probably figured out on our own, but that's not what we hear out in the, in the greater narrative. And so Source is energy, we are energy, everything is energy. And this energy was described to me as being music, as being sound. And so Alena has been working with sound for a long while. And so I really wanted to bring her on. So I'm not going to talk anymore here. I want us to focus on Alena. She's got so much to offer. And so tell us more about this.
I'm so excited to be on your channel right now. Thank you so much for the generous introduction. This is absolutely wonderful opportunity for me to share my insight, everything that I felt through, everything that I learned from other sages of our modern world. And as you mentioned just now, the source is music, and this is so profound and so beautiful, like poetical, that fits so well with everything that the Bible says and everything that that modern science is also kind of sort of itching towards. Sound is basically the basis of our creation, And what's amazing to me is that sound therapy, sound music in general, is a perfect bridge between spirituality, all this ancient tradition, including Christianity as well, and also very hardcore, very materialistic science. Because what is sound? Unlike a very popular belief that sound is in a form of wave, like sine, right? So this sound wave is just a graphic representation of the sound bubble. That everything what I'm talking right now, I am surrounded with the sound bubble of my speech. And as doing that, I also generate heat, infrared light. So basically, every time we speak, every time we sing, every time we make a sound, we send this light, our light, to the stars, to the universe. And it happens because from the science point of view, sound creates as a very periodic transmission of pulses of energy. When atoms collapsed, there's specific phenomena going on called inelastic collision, when atoms and molecules get bumped into each other because of all of this energy that we emit when we speak or when we sing or we play music. And that transmission propagates through the medium, through the air, through the ether. And also it creates sound in a way, because just by the nature of the atoms, all this magnetic shell that surrounds every single particle, every single atom, this sound propagation, this friction also generates light. And that how creator, how source energy, spoke this creation into reality by speaking the word, by sending the sound wave and generating light and everything else. Because our hard, 3D reality, all this object that we perceive as super solid matter, it's just the frequency, because matter consists of molecules, molecules consist of atoms, and atoms consist mostly from, space. That's all. This it's that clear. And even modern cosmology, scientifically speaking, Big Bang theory, it's nothing but theory so far, because nobody can explain why this acceleration of matter persists instead of gradually slowing down. Big Bang basically refers to the big sound wave, right? That created everything else, all these lights, all these galaxies and everything that we are so fond of looking at the sky. And that's how it is. Sound is the base of creation, no more, no less. So your experience is really, really just so profound, and I wish so badly that I also could have this glimpse of this experience and these feelings of and because sound is the basis of creation, all living beings, including humans, that's the main reason why we're so responsive to the sound as a healing modality, because it creates the meaning, the mean to assist our inner intelligence, our innate organizing, blueprint, to snap back into the high order, because it shows as a mirror high frequency, more coherent way of being. It creates space. It removes all these distortions, energetic distortion that sooner or later can manifest as a real physical disorder, emotional, physical, and mental, who knows. And sound does it so elegantly and so effortlessly and so powerful as well. And that's why sound therapy was at the big, I can say at the beginning or not, but it came from the dawn of times. All ancient traditions, all indigenous healing, shamanism, and all of that, it's all based on sound. It's either by drumming or chanting or playing specific native instruments that produce specific frequencies. And modern science actually proved beyond any doubt that certain extra low frequencies or extra high frequency in the range of the ultrasound possess extremely high potency, of medicinal potency, if you will, not only in terms of pain relief, can you imagine, almost instantly, but also providing, activating our parasympathetic system, vagus nerve. Honestly, we have a direct access to the vagus nerve through the tragus, this little flap on our ears. And if we wear like real headphones that press against this tragus, not earbuds, it's not enough, but regular headphones. Headphones preferably need to be a special quality to be sensitive to the to the low frequency sound, like 40 hertz and even lower, at least 40 hertz. And listening music, special music, well, it doesn't have to be special. It's just, it has to be harmonious and the one that you like, that you really enjoy. And that is plenty to activate vagus nerve, which helps us to slip into the state of rest, digest, and healing. And just by doing this, you're already helping your body and your, the entirety of your being to get back into the order, to go back into the, what they call factory settings, So this is extremely powerful method. And also our very own voice, either like singing aloud or just by humming, it also can help us to activate this parasympathetic system. And I found, initially I thought that singing or humming in the shower is pretty much for the privacy reason. Not so, actually. Just by having tiles around us, by having this special configuration, creates such a resonance that if you find by singing or humming this special pitch that resonates like in your chest or in your head, that could be extremely powerful way to address whatever issues you're struggling with. All you have to do is just set an intention. My shoulder hurts, for example, like hypothetically, how my hurt shoulder would sound like, and just let your mouth utter whatever it wants. It's ready to utter. It could be very ugly. It could be very whatever. By doing again and again and again, it gets clear and clear and clear, and your pain will suddenly be less, or maybe it will disappear at all. We are that powerful. Our bodies, well, speaking of bodies, as above, so below. So our bodies is basically universe on itself, right? And we can speak to ourselves. We can speak to our organs, and whatever hurts or whatever needs a little bit of impulse and boost of order coherence, we can do it with our very own voice, for example. And everyone can have access to this instrument, right? We just have to be creative and curious and playful.
I mean, fascinating. I am here just like, wow. So I did tell you guys, she's a well of information. So there you go. There you have it. Yeah, I am just in awe of all these things that I have not been able to find anywhere else as well. Love knowing Alena. I will put the information for her channel below. She has mind-blowing videos. Just simple ways that just make sense. When you listen to her, you realize, oh my goodness, this is incredible. Just like she's telling us about the shoulder example in the shower. Now, it's funny because I am always humming to myself or singing to myself and going in the shower, but I do that too. So we should all try this because we know that intention means everything. So it's just being more conscious of the fact that we have so much power at our fingertips.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for that, Alena. Can you tell us a little bit about your background so we know where this interest started for you, how you got to this point where you're focusing on this, if you want to share anything with us in that sense.
Oh yeah, my background is really very sciencey, as This actually kind of funny. My whole life, I was fascinated with anything that related to holistic healing, like what to eat, how to breathe correctly. However, because I was growing up in the Soviet Union, let's put it this way, alternative holistic healing, even word healing it's not like was prohibited. It was just not in the vocabulary, except for the folk medicine, this kind of things, which was, well, I wouldn't say frowned upon, but definitely not promoted. So I chose biology as my profession because it was the closest thing to my real interest. What was interested me the most. That's how I became a biologist with a PhD in plant physiology of all things. I still love my plants, my garden, and actually I'm playing my tuning forks to my plants in the garden with very good results. I'm telling you, they're very responsive. You would be surprised.
Wow.
Well, anyway, 20 plus years ago, we immigrated to the United States. Well, moved to the United States. Immigration was not not even close. But anyway, since then, I was working in the biomedical research in all kinds of different fields: neuroscience, skin biology, virology. My last projects were related to the cancer research. It was very fun collaboration with a team of biomedical engineers. And we were using all kinds of lasers, light, near-infrared light to visualize distribution of drugs, basically. It was very, very, very fun project. But what was dawning on me again and again and again, because throughout all these years, I had a secret life, like living in parallel reality where I was exploring all kind of holistic healing modalities, starting with Reiki, other energy, practicing energy medicine. And my latest one, which absolutely blew my mind away, was sound therapy. Somehow, some way, I found myself listening to one of the numerous summits that I've been exposed to. And one of the speakers, Alena Rudkouskaya, explained the basic ideas beyond biofield tuning, basis of biofield tuning. And it was so elegant and it was so beautiful and made so much practical sense. It was, oh my God. And I was thinking to myself, if only I had courage to drop whatever I was doing and get involved with what I really, really like, that I'm ready to, completely immerse and explore it. Guess what? Universe definitely heard my my secret prayer. And when COVID came and mandates finally settled down, I was purged from academia. And now here I am practicing what my heart desire, and basically I'm living the best of my life so far.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I do want to tell everybody that Alena has on our channel, and again, I highly recommend you check it out. She has several sessions of biofield tuning that she does. These are free. You can just watch them. And she normally charges clients for this. And maybe you can tell us about some of the experiences you've had with your clients. And she has great success with this, as you've heard. I can even help with physical pain in addition to other things. But so she has, if you want to experience it for yourself, you can just watch one of the videos that she's put up generously, because she will do even these biofield tuning sessions to heal the planet or to help with the transformations we're going through. In fact, you just had a video about the Uranus conjunction that happened a few days ago. If you want to tell us more about that, I thought it was amazing. It was an amazing video.
Yes, that was a basically it was an expromptum video because I never planned this way. It's just the magnificence and the uniqueness of this astrological event that we went through that exactly last week, a week ago, was so profound that I decided it would be absolutely amazing for myself and for everyone else in my community that I love dearly to help to ride this transformational wave of Uranus Taurus North Node conjunction to extract as much benefit as possible by using biofield tuning to clear, to dissolve all these blockages of old social conditioning that when nobody, we're small and little and we don't matter, basically to help us to step into our power and to manifest and live our best lives, not only on a personal level, individual level, but also as a community, on a planetary level and beyond. And actually, beyond my, this video happened to be quite successful because for me, for this kind of biofield tuning videos, amount of views usually stop around 40, 50, and this one actually keeps going, which is amazing, and I'm so grateful. And I encourage everyone to listen to this video, not necessarily the whole thing through, but starting at the point where the actual biofield tuning session starts. And I'm sure you will be, you will benefit from this. And speaking of biofield tuning, you just mentioned that even pain. I have to tell that physical pain is addressed, it's something that is addressed the most, the best with this modality. Why? Because just the sheer mechanical pressure of sound waves already creates like kind of wave of healing. Because think about it, when we hurt ourselves, this funny bone, we instinctively rub it and apply some pressure, mechanic pressure, right? So do the sound waves. Well, I'm using the word waves because, but this is just the surrounding sound that not only acts at the surface of the skin as we do mechanically, but also internally in our organs. This is one of the mechanisms of pain relief by sound therapy. Another one is, again, so the vagus nerve, because when vagus nerve is activated, it supports and promotes anti-inflammatory response, very, very powerful. And then the research has proven that certain sounds in a very low frequency range, 40 hertz and below, also stimulate opioid receptors in the brain. We have this system internal. We can synthesize, generate our own opioids, and that also contributes to the pain relief. So as you see, pain relief is very well, responds very well to this kind of therapy. However, to me, biofield tuning, just because it serves as a mirror to our innate intelligence, innate organizing intelligence. It's the same way as if looking at the mirror and see, oh, my hair is a mess, I have a lettuce in my teeth, and we fix ourselves instantly, right? The same does our biofield. So the biofield and the sounds of tuning forks. Why? Because when we activate tuning fork, using different frequency, I can talk about it if you have time. So this coherent sound of tuning fork when it gets into the contact within the space of any kind of energetic distortions in the biofield, the sound changes. It becomes out of tune. It becomes so distorted, either too low or too sharp or too fuzzy, or whatever it is. We don't even have to interpret it. I mean, we don't. Some people are so intuitive that they can determine what happened. Like, did you pee your pants in the 5th grade? This kind of things. It could be anything. It doesn't matter if you know or don't. This innate intelligence perceives all these distortions when it's mirrored back to it, and it corrects itself. It goes into the highest state of coherence. This entropy that we also always exposed to, the sound, these coherent sound waves, bubbles, they introduce in our system, in our biofield, the syntropy, the opposite of entropy, syntropy, or some people prefer the term negentropy, but syntropy seems a little bit more pleasant, isn't it? So yeah, and because this modality, biofield tuning, is so universal for physical issues, for emotional issues, for everything, it creates space. It creates the opportunity for our system on all levels, who knows, maybe multidimensionally as well, to become clear, to become, high, to reach level of the high vibrations. To me, it works like, remember that legend about golden Buddha that was found covered in mud in whatever, in some jungle in Indonesia? Well, the legend goes that in some monastery, golden Buddha was, present as the statue of Buddha made of the solid gold. And the enemy was at the gate, and to protect this treasure, this invaluable statue, the monks covered this statue of Buddha with clay, with mud, with whatever, to remove this, attraction. And it stayed this way for many years, many hundreds, maybe even years, until someone somehow, someday, just saw through the crack in this mud, this little glimpse of something shiny and beautiful. And what was mud and clay was removed, the beautiful thing revealed itself. The same goes with the biofield tuning. We remove chunk by chunk, distortion by distortion, all this noise, all this static from biofield. When everything distortion, distraction is removed, all is remaining is, this golden Buddha that we are all, golden angel, our true shining, luminous nature starts to be present and obvious for everyone. And for ourselves, first of all, of course.
That's a beautiful analogy. And what I like a lot about this is that the 25th has always told us that we are all always connected. So really the difference in how we behave here in this holographic game is that some of us have chosen at some point to a greater or lesser degree to become conscious of who we really are. And what is fascinating to me is that we always find ways, we leave clues for ourselves. And so we always find our way back to what we are willing to know, which in this case, science is now showing us things that we already know, intuitively we knew, and that we, as I said, I know what I know personally. I've experienced certain things, but many, like Alena, who she's saying she has not experienced it that way. I know she's experienced other ways. There is never by chance that we are attracted to certain things. At the end of the day, we're all following our path to what we consider awakening or greater aware connection. Again, the connection is always there. It's just the awareness of it that we allow ourselves to feel. So I love when you talk about all these things, because we might as well be talking about what the 25th has told us. I mean, you are just, it's incredible to me. And this is what I love about you specifically, is that everything you do and everything you're attracted to and everything you study that you bring to us, and you make it sound so simple, and it's incredible to me. It's always in line with really what the universe is at the end of the day, what this reality is about. I love that. There is no, we use a lot of things in this, on this planet, in this 3D reality. We use a lot of things to separate us. This is a separation game we play, to separate us from who we are. But somehow you always speak of things that bring us back to who we are. And of course, the moment that you go and try to manipulate who you are, like your true energy, like we do with biofield tuning, of course it's going to be hyper powerful. It absolutely makes sense to me. So I love it. I love it.
Thank you, Claire. And thanks for bringing up this idea of interconnectedness. Because biofield tuning, in another aspect, very powerful and very useful and efficient, is that because we're all connected through the ether, through the quantum field, just by experiencing biofield tuning on ourselves, we also help all the generations before us and after us, our ancestors and our children and future generations, to help with whatever issues we are clearing with biofield tuning. And this was observed not only by me, but also for the whole bunch of biofield tuning practitioners. When the clients come back to the sessions, oh, my mother changed all of a sudden. My mother is much nicer. She stopped, bullying me or doing this or that. And I find it especially useful in the case of teenagers, or, the very people that need help and guidance and assistance, that they refuse and I don't believe it. I don't touch me. Just you can be surrogate for your family, basically, by experiencing this sound, because we all connected. And the benefits that one is experiencing, one person, it's like ripple effects through the whole community. And that's why we have to be really careful what kind of vocabulary we're using, what kind of words we're casting spells with, right? Because at the end of the day, whatever we're putting in a quantum field, the words we're using, if it's like battle, or oh, this pain is killing me, or I'm sick and tired, we're getting more and more of whatever we are, putting out there, right? That's why we have to be conscious what words we choose, what feelings we choose. For example, instead of waking up in the Monday, oh my gosh, we're still on the planet Earth, what we're gonna do? How about just, to be a little bit more playful, to be a little bit more curious, what next day, what kind of surprise, what kind of magic it brings with it. This way, this kind of attitude of curiosity and playfulness and fun, because this is the game after all, right? It's supposed to be fun. And if our immediate reality doesn't look like fun yet, it's up to us to use our own voice or our own words to bring this reality that we want to us, to attract it. Because sound is the basis of creation. It's just no other way around.
Love it. It's funny, I was telling you that just before this interview, I was telling you that I've been reorganizing my place and throwing out a bunch of stuff. There's nothing that I enjoy more than decluttering, and so I'm okay. I'm okay with the whatever is going on. I'm excited, and try to make the best of things. That's the only thing we can do at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
you start with you. Yeah.
No, go ahead, please.
You start with your own space. You get in order. You get in coherence, and one space at a time. Your own home, your own business, your own community, country, planet as well.
Absolutely.
One step at a time.
I like it. Yeah. And that's exactly how it is. I saw a really interesting, it was just a snippet of an interview with Justin Peterson, who is this Canadian, I think he was a psychologist, or he's a psychologist, and he's a thinker for sure. I really enjoy him. If you guys are not familiar with him, I would definitely recommend checking him out. He's really interesting. And he was just talking about there was a woke person who was talking about climate and all the dangers we're supposed to be experiencing and feeling, and the sky's falling kind of scenario. And he made a comment where he said, I find it interesting that people that do not have their own house in order, I would recommend they should be very careful with trying to now fix the planet. It makes sense. It's common sense, and it refers a little bit to what you said, which is it's one thing after the other. It has to make sense. We build our muscle through the little things. Yes. You don't have your own life in order. How are you giving advice or proposing opinions on a planetary scale? But at the end of the day, we are connected, right? We are all connected, and everything we do, of course, affects the whole, because there is no separation. So it absolutely makes sense. I am so interested in this particular topic. Now, did you have, I do want to be mindful of time, your time, and also the viewers' time. Was there anything else that you wanted to add? I will, again, I will link Alena's information below so that you guys can check all of this out for yourselves. Just listening to one session. In fact, I will put the latest session she's done on our channel, also the link to that video below, because it is very powerful. I listened to it once, but I actually intend to listen to it again and again. And so is there anything else that you would like to say in regards to this topic?
You mean biofield tuning? Or
anything you like. I could listen to you for hours.
Oh, gosh. Well, we can talk about actual medical application of sound therapy.
Sure.
Because step by step, bit by bit, this profound healing modality finds its way into the hardcore, modern Western medicine as well, to the point that the actual a new term was coined, music medicine, as opposed to music therapy. Because it was found that just using special frequencies in the hospital settings, it's so helpful, it's so perfect, basically, to accelerate healing. There is no way to hide this fact anymore. And people, medical professionals who really care about the patients start using it more and more, to the point that special music, you see, some people before surgery get really anxious and contracted. So playing music that these people really love, the keyword, the music they love, because it creates a dopamine surge and everything. It's relaxing. It relaxes them, and basically the outcome of the surgery is better. The rehabilitation period is shorter. So again, pain relief. Playing special frequency, either very low frequency, 40 hertz and below, in the patients, either speakers inserted in the medical bed, or just through the headphones also helps a lot. Furthermore, ultra high frequencies. It's a special way to address many medical problems, not only as a pain relief. You see, it works on the higher range of frequencies, ultra low and ultra high, but also the scientists, the researchers, they found that the cells, surprise, surprise, healthy cells resonate at a certain frequency, and the sick cells, cancer cells, resonate at totally different frequencies. And if we treat these cancer cells with the frequencies, high frequencies that they resonate with, cancer cells, they just burst. So this is totally new dimension of treating cancer, for example, with sound waves. Can you imagine? I wouldn't hold my breath to have this opportunity, this modality to everyone, just the same as the chemotherapy, but it's available. It's in the books already. So
I wish I'd known about this, and you might or might not know. And I know you guys, if you've been watching my channel, you know I had cancer about 6 years ago, and I wish I'd known about all these things at the time. And I had done actually a lot of research on this, and I actually found out about this machine that coincidentally got destroyed, and the inventor, I don't know what happened to the inventor. It's the typical thing that happens to a lot of very promising technology. It was called the Rife Machine. And I don't know how, and perhaps you know what kind of energy he used, but it was based on energy, and he was, according to the inventor, curing the big C. And so again, coincidentally, it got removed.
Yeah, it disappeared.
Amazing.
like Tesla.
Yes. So I find it incredible that now this information is starting to trickle out to the public about things that are going right up against the interest of the big, pharmaceutical / medical industrial complex. So I love this. I love what you're doing. I wish you would create some course or like some cliff notes for, like do a brain dump of all these things. And, every time I hear you talk about some of these things, it's stuff that, because I read a lot about this, but I don't find this information that you're sharing. So I love it.
Well, you attract the information that you are tuned to, right? If you focus on this information, it will find you.
Yeah.
Shift Network has excellent courses on sound therapy, both in terms of biofield tuning, and recently the very last course that I signed up with this Shift Network was actually music, dedicated to music medicine, and it was created by biomedical engineer, which has a fascinating research in this. In the role of sound, in the way our bodies function, how to visualize. He created. His name is John Stewart Reed. He created the special device, cymoscope, to visualize the sound through the medium of water. Do you mind if I share? I pull out absolutely beautiful video demonstrating this cymoscope capabilities.
Love to. Let me make sure that you can share. Let me look here.
Okay. Make sure that share sound. So this is what cymatics look like in this device of Dr. Stewart cymoscope. And this voice that inflicts these beautiful patterns, the undersea fold. interesting. They automatically have to take deep breath. I think we'll
incredible. If you don't mind, Alena, if you want to send me the link to that, I will share that as well, because I know, at least for myself, I want to listen to the whole thing. I was very fixated on the cymatics, and I was like, oh, I mean, amazing. So
it is incredible. The artist himself is absolutely, his voice has a real healing power, I would say. Anders Holt, I will send you the link. Please. Definitely. He has a audio
recorded, and we listened to what, 2 minutes of it. So, I mean, incredible. Thank you. I was not aware. Do you want to explain real quick what cymatics is and what the idea is behind it?
Cymatics is the science, or rather way to visualize the sound through any kind of means, either water, as we just observed, or sand, or something. Basically, all you need a membrane in terms of, if it's not a cymoscope as this one, you need a special, any kind of membrane, a speaker underneath, and some medium salt or sand to visualize all this frequency that played through the speaker amplifier. And that's all. However, cymatics actually have a very interesting application, not only just for curiosity to see all these beautiful patterns. It's more than that. It led to the absolutely, serendipitous discovery, if you will. The thing is that Dr. Stewart, John Reed Stewart, has a collaboration with the scientists, like hardcore scientists from Rutgers University. And they used samples of blood from blood bank to explore how the sound affects, different sounds, different music affects viability of red blood cells. And at some point, so they were using these ampoules of with blood to play through the little speaker in the isolated chamber, different kind of music. And for their surprise, they were surprised to find out that it doesn't matter what kind of music was played. You would think that classical or some Indian chants or Tibetan bowls would exert more healing, more profound effect. Not at all. Surprisingly, the best effect was pop music with extra low bass sound. That created the best effect in terms of blood cells viability, which makes you think that people who play this woof, subwoofer, in the car's music, that you can perceive all these vibrations, almost inaudible, but vibrations, 3 cars before and after they're into something really. So another thing, an absolutely amazing discovery they made is when they used this vial of blood. If you're aware, this blood from the, as soon as the blood is extracted from the body, it becomes really, really dark, like dark maroon. So they put this vial of blood into cymoscope and play the music. Not necessarily that beautiful that we just listened, but some kind of sound. And the very moment they played the sound, this coherent sound, this blackish blood, deep maroon blood become bright and scarlet, which means that it gets oxygenated instantly. That means that for our blood, for our very own blood in the living body, in order to be oxygen to be available for hemoglobin, we need these sound waves that produce, guess what, our very own heart. And that's the reason when the heart stops and gets into arrest, we lose consciousness right away. Not because the oxygen saturation is gone, probably it's still okay for a few minutes, right? But this absence of these sound waves, so the heart pulse, heartbeat, disables the molecules of hemoglobin. They cannot pick up these oxygen molecules to deliver where it needs to be delivered. That's why blood becomes instantly deoxygenated, maroonish, instead of bright and red.
I mean, oxygenated. Blowing. But you know, I was thinking of something when you were explaining this. I saw, and I forget, it was somebody on YouTube, and I don't know if it was as a premise to a meditation or whatever it was. I forget who it was, but somebody spoke about the fact that if we were able, and this person has been working on this, but if we were able to silence, we don't realize how much noise there is in our environment because we tune it all out. For example, the fridge that goes all the time, or whatever other thing of this, the traffic outside, whatever it might be. We tune everything out. So we think most of the time, unless there are loud noises or unusual noises, we think we're in silence. But the truth is, if we were able to remove all the external sounds, we would realize that our body makes all kinds of sounds. There is the swishing of the blood, there is the flowing of the lymph, there is even the heart. Why does the heart make noise? Maybe it is keeping, maybe it is, there's a cacophony. There's a cacophony of sound inside of us. And the 25th calls it the soup. We live in a soup of music. And so that is so fascinating. It's true. I'm truly like, boof. It makes sense. And when the heart stops beating, the music stops. And that's when we move on. This is also very interesting. As I said, I could talk with you for hours, but again, in interest of time, I think we should cap it here. If there are any final words, I mean, I don't know what you can say that it's even more amazing than what you said so far, but please go for it. I love it.
Oh gosh, thank you so much, Claire, for this fruitful conversation. It was so much fun. And for the viewers, as my final word is that, guys, we just have to learn how to be more playful, to have fun in everyday activities, and using sound as a music or our very own humming and singing is one of the easiest way to have fun, to find pleasure and satisfaction and improving our very own existence, starting with health and then relationship, because when we're happy, everything is better around, isn't it? So don't worry, be happy. There's no.
Yes, I love that song. And it is true, everything comes from the inside. You mentioned as above, so below, as inside, so outside. So I love this. Thank you so much, Alena, for sharing.
Oh, my pleasure.
With us. I really appreciate that. And I hope we'll be able to have you on this channel again. So take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you did, and do check out Alena's channel because it's absolutely worth it. And she is incredible, and she's added so much to my life since she started this channel. So I'm sure she'll do the same with you. All right, take care, everybody. Bye, Alena. Take care. Bye-bye.